It was a Wednesday, January 15, 1947. The air in Los Angeles was crisp, the kind that feels clean and new. Betty Bersinger, a young mother, was out for a morning stroll with her daughter along Norton Avenue in Leimert Park. As they passed a vacant lot, something white caught Betty's eye, stark against the dark earth. At first, she thought it was a mannequin, broken and discarded, but as she drew closer, dread crept in. This was no mannequin. It was human. Betty shielded her daughter's eyes and ran to call the police. Soon sirens shattered the morning calm. Police and reporters swarmed the lot. The officers, hardened by years on the force, were shaken by what they found. The body was posed, deliberately, a grotesque tableau in the morning light. The City of Angels was about to meet one of its darkest demons. What they found would become legend. A crime so brutal, so staged, it defied logic. This wasn't just a murder, it was a statement. The victim was a young woman who had come to Hollywood chasing a dream. Her dream ended here, in this cold, empty lot. Her name was Elizabeth Short. The world would soon know her as the Black Dahlia. The discovery sent shockwaves through Los Angeles. The press descended, hungry for every detail. The city's innocence was shattered. The Black Dahlia case would haunt Los Angeles for decades. It was the beginning of a mystery that would never truly be solved. The story of Elizabeth Short was about to unfold, piece by chilling piece. A city's darkest secret had just been unearthed, and nothing would ever be the same. Who was Elizabeth Short before the headlines? She was a girl from Medford, Massachusetts, one of 5 daughters with striking blue eyes and dark hair. Her friends called her Beth. She wore a gardenia in her hair and dreamed of Hollywood. Growing up during the Great Depression, she longed for something more. Asthma sent her west to California, where her estranged father lived. Their reunion was brief soon. She was on her own, drifting between cities, working odd jobs, chasing stardom. She was beautiful, captivating, but often lonely, caught between hope and hardship. The nickname Black Dahlia came from her dark hair and love of black clothing, echoing the film The Blue Dahlia. The name fit, a touch of noir glamour for a woman who seemed to embody both mystery and allure. But her life was far from glamorous. She moved from one cheap room to another, her suitcase her only constant. She wrote home, painting a rosy picture that hid her struggles. Elizabeth was a dreamer, living on the margins of a city that devoured the hopeful. She became a beautiful, enigmatic figure on the edge of Hollywood. The story she was living was not the one she had hoped for. Her final chapter was about to be written, and it would be nothing like the movies. In her final weeks, Elizabeth Short drifted through bus stations and hotel lobbies, her life a blur of fleeting encounters. She returned to Los Angeles in early January 1947, last seen with Robert Manley, a married salesman. Manley drove her to the Biltmore Hotel where she said she'd meet her sister. He watched her disappear into the grand lobby, alone in the crowd. That was the last confirmed sighting of Elizabeth alive. What happened in the 6 days after remains a mystery. Did she meet someone new? Was she lured away? The period became known as the missing week. Rumors swirled, sightings at bars, parties, but nothing was confirmed. It was as if she vanished into thin air. For 6 days, no one reported her missing. She was a ghost in the city, until she reappeared in the most horrific way. The city would never forget the way she was found, and the questions would never stop. The crime scene was a portrait of calculated brutality. Elizabeth Short's body had been severed at the waist, drained of blood, and posed with chilling precision. Her face was slashed into a grotesque smile, a Glasgow smile. The mutilations were extreme, evidence of torture and rage. The killer had medical skill, and left no blood at the scene. The press seized on the story, sensationalizing every detail. The killer taunted police, sending Elizabeth's belongings to the newspaper, wiped clean of fingerprints. The city was gripped by fear and fascination. The Black Dahlia case became a media frenzy, and the killer seemed to revel in the chaos. Los Angeles held its breath, waiting for the next move. The investigation was massive, one of the largest in LAPD history. Dozens confessed, but all were ruled out. Police questioned everyone in Elizabeth's orbit, but leads went nowhere. Her transient lifestyle made the case nearly impossible to solve. The killer left no evidence, only a haunting mystery. The trail went cold, and the city was left with an unsolved riddle. The Black Dahlia became a legend, her killer a phantom. Decades later, a new suspect emerged, Dr. George Hodel, a brilliant but sinister Los Angeles physician. His own son, Steve Hodel, a retired detective, uncovered evidence linking his father to the crime. The LAPD had once bugged Hodel's home, recording him making chilling statements about the murder. Dr. Hodel had surgical skill, a dark history, and connections to Hollywood's avant-garde. Steve Hodel's investigation suggested the murder was a twisted work of art, inspired by his father's surrealist friends. Handwriting, geography, and a pattern of violence all pointed to Hodel, but it remains a theory. Dr. Hodel was never charged, he died with his secrets, and the case remains open. The idea that the killer was a respected member of society only deepened the legend. The Black Dahlia mystery endures, haunted by the specter of Dr. Hodel. The truth, if it exists, is buried with him. The murder of Elizabeth Short became a Hollywood ghost story, a cautionary tale about the dark side of dreams. She was transformed from a person into a symbol, the beautiful, tragic victim of the city's illusions. Her story has been retold endlessly, her image frozen in time. But behind the legend was a real woman, daughter, sister, friend. The case remains unsolved, the evidence long gone, the truth elusive. Was it Dr. Hodel, someone else, or a phantom who vanished into the city's shadows? The not knowing is what haunts us most. Elizabeth Short lingers in the city's memory, a reminder of ambition's cost and life's fragility. Her story forces us to confront the darkness beneath the glamour, and the Black Dahlia's ghost will never let us forget.